So before the video begins, I want to mention that you can see on the video that the quality is not that good. I found why is it like this, and if you can't read the code on the video, you can go to the video description to get the different scripts, which I will publish in the Git for each episode. And have a nice time watching this video. Hello everyone, there is your favorite mad lad, Girali, your Polish slave, you know. So in this episode, is the second episode, we will gonna do our first server and we're gonna connect to this to it. So to make it clear, we are gonna need some time for this, so 30 minutes will be nice. So yeah, let's start this. So at first, start by making a scene, name it start. In your start scene, you will need to remove all your components and create a headless server manager component. Always name your components like so. So here, what we're gonna do. At first, we're gonna use remind to create a script that will launch our server. So we'll create headless server manager. Here, we're gonna launch our server in a headless mode. That means that we're gonna launch our server without any graphics or anything like this. So it will save our resources in the future. So for this, what we're gonna need. So to launch a server, we're gonna need at first a variable named map to know which map we're gonna launch. So by default, we'll set it empty. A private version of it, a private static version of this variable, which we're gonna use later in our project. Another version, wait, yeah, I forgot string. So another variable named ID room, which will give us the ability to choose what room we're gonna join as a client and which room we're gonna create as a server. So by default, I will make it like this, and of course we're gonna need a static version of it to later use it in our project, and of course our last field, which is gonna be if the server is a server or not. So this will help us to know if we launch a client or a server. So we're gonna do an accessor for it for later access. So and make access for it for the other variables for the room and the map. So at first we're gonna create an awake in which we're gonna write the following code like here. So at first you're gonna need to copy this function get argument, which are gonna help us to get arguments from our launching files. So that's important, and of course that's it. So at first we're gonna need to know what variables are in our launching file. So here is a simple code to just replace the default values if there is an argument on our launching file, And now we're gonna start by coding this part. So I will just explain it. So here, it's very simple. We're gonna just check if the server is a server. If it is a server, so we're gonna view all different, we're gonna see if our map exists. So mainly we're gonna see why it exists, because we don't want to create an instance of the server with an not launching map. So that's why we're gonna validate the map at first, and if it's validated, we're gonna start a server, and of course we're gonna make the game object don't destroy and load, mainly because if we destroy it on the load of a map, we're gonna just delete the script which creates the server. So that's not a good thing. So yeah, when we has launched the server, now we need to create a room. So for that, we're gonna need simply to replace mono behavior by bolt.global event listener. Global event listener gives us the permission to override simple function like bolt start begin. This gives this is a callback function that will be called if our server gonna be simply starting. So we will be connecting to the Photon cloud of Bolt services. So let's add two new libraries, Bolt matchmaking and Bolt Photon, because we'll need them. So for the libraries, don't forget to add each of the libraries that I added previously. So Bolt start will mainly serve us to register a Photon token. This is a Photon room properties token. This helps us to start a room. So for this, now we're gonna need another override, which is override of Bolt start done. So this is when everything goes okay with this part and we has connected normally to the server. And now we're gonna see if we are the server. So like here, we're gonna create properties for a room. So simply like this, we're gonna create some custom properties. So here we have an example of a room of a custom property like here. So M is a map property, and you can get it when you will search for the room later when you are a client. So of course here we're gonna indicate if the room is open. So that means if someone can join it, and if the room is visible. So if someone searches for rooms, if the room is visible, it will give us the room in the room list. Otherwise, we need to know the room ID to join it. And of course, if we don't have any room ID, we're gonna generate one. So normally we're gonna have one. And then of course we're gonna create a session. So this is why we need Bolt matchmaking. In here we're gonna create a session. You can name it a room too. This session will be set by this room ID and the room properties, and of course we'll load the map we have registered before. So if everything is done here, we can now head to our project and see everything, if everything is okay. So our start is okay, everything is good. So now we're gonna add our map, so our main map. So first we're gonna create a new scene in which we're gonna put we're gonna name it at first Snow 2 to reference of this do this 2, and we're gonna save start, and of course we're gonna need now to go to build settings and to add of course our start scene and our snow scene. So you make it by dragging it in the window. So now we can put our script in a folder too, like this. Come on. Yeah, like this. So you can put your script in here. So this script is a general script, which we can put in a general folder. Yeah, like this. So now if we start our project, and our project is a server, and if we had added Snow 2 to our map to load, what's gonna happen? So here is what's gonna happen. Our server will start, find the scene, and will load Snow 2. So here is Snow 2. Now we have opened a server on our network. So now we need to make the client part. So for this, we're gonna need a new game object in which we're gonna make the app. We're gonna name at first this game object, empty game object, app manager. And here on the app manager, we're gonna add a app manager script. Yeah, and create it like this. So our map manager will help us to know if we need to load another scene or just stay on what we have now. So if we start a server or start a client. So for that, we're gonna need to go to our scene, and in here we're gonna need at first to load the library scene manager, like in our Headless server manager. And here we're gonna need at first a reference of our Headless server to know if we are in a server at the moment. We're gonna need this app manager to be done this one load, because in the future we're gonna need it. And of course, now in our start, we're gonna need to read if our instance of the game is a server or not. So here is why. And we're gonna load a scene named menu. So that scene will gonna be our first scene, which the player gonna see. So let's link at first everything. So like I said, let's link Headless server in here. And of course, create a new scene named menu. So let's see if everything works. So if we are not the server in here, and we save the scene, we start, and we will see if everything is good. No, scene has not been added. So of course now we're gonna head to build settings and just drag and drop our menu scene like this. Start it, and of course it's gonna load without doubt. Yeah. So it has loaded menu, and in menu we're gonna just make the player connect to the server. So don't remove the main camera. Of course. So here we're gonna just add a UI element, panel element. Of course, we're gonna make it look very big like this, and we're gonna undo this reference because it's better like this. And here we're gonna name it login panel, like this. So in here we're gonna create a button which gonna help us to connect. So this button will give us the ability to simply connect to the session. And of course we're gonna need a text field in which we're gonna give feedback to our player. Remember always to add here scale with screen on your canvas, and of course put the standard resolution of our century, which is 9020 1080. So here we're gonna need our feedback text, feedback text. So yeah, and that's all I think for this scene. Maybe we can make the button more attractive. We can make it like black, something like this, and this like this, and maybe 300, 100, yeah, like this, and maybe fit best. Not a good practice, but it does the job. So name it connect, like this. Okay. Of course, we need to set our text like this and make it best fit 2, and maybe make it 400, 100, and undo the text. Yeah. So now we're gonna create a new empty game object, which we're gonna name network manager. So what's a network manager? It will help us, our client, to just join the scene. So network. So let's create it already in the good folder here. Network manager here, and let's open it. Let's open it. So yeah, thanks. So here. Let's undo all of this. Let's remove that, and let's go. So in here, we're gonna need a reference of our feedback, so we can make the feedback look okay. Here we're gonna add a function that will activate our feedback or just replace the text. I think we don't really need it, but if we have like something like Boolean is error, this can help us to make the text maybe look red, you know, something like this. So I like to put it in a function like that. And now we're gonna need to simply have a function which we'll name public void connect. What this function will do, this function simply will be called by our button. So let's link it at first. Here we go. Where is our button? Here. So our button, we're gonna need simply to be referenced itself and reference his own network manager. So here. So make the button interactable false, and make simply I didn't attach my script. Yeah, I didn't attach it, so let's attach it. And here we're gonna need just to, in the connect, to reference our network manager and the connect function. So when we're gonna hit connect like this, we're gonna at first feedback this that we are connecting. We're gonna need to say that we will start a client. If we are starting a client, like I said previously, we're gonna at first need to have our callbacks called in our script. So like here, network manager dot bold that global event listener. Yeah, and here we're gonna need 2 new callbacks. So the first callback will be override session list updated. So that means we have received every room offer that we want to connect, and we will pass the 2 following things, the search. So at first we're gonna feedback that we are searching for rooms, of course, and of course we will gonna try to connect to it. So we're gonna use matchmaking to be sure that everything's okay. And of course, if we has connected to it, we're gonna override a new function which is named connected here, and here we're gonna just feedback that we are connected. So let's head to our folders. So here we're gonna build our game in the folder. So like I said, we're gonna need to build the game. So let's here build, and we will build it in our Bolt tutorial folder. So one you create one and you build your game inside it, like this. And so we're gonna need 2 files to be created in this folder. These 2 files are very simple. So at first we're gonna see this folder, so like here. So in this folder we're gonna create a new text thing, and we're gonna name it like we want, so like this maybe. And here we're gonna at first call our game like this to run it. And in here we're gonna say s true. That means that our server gonna be that file will be our launching file, and this file will permit us to launch the game like a server. So here let's say we're gonna save it as start underscore server.bat, and don't forget to put all files in here, so that he create a specific bot file for that. And now we can do the same for the client. So we're gonna just write here as false like this, and we're gonna hit the save as button, and we're gonna say that we are starting the client like this. So yeah, I forgot to put the .bat. So all files like this, and .bat. Oh, come on. .bat, yeah. So here, start the client, everything's okay. We can remove the older files. So let's start the server. Our game is starting like normal. We can see here everything's okay. It will start correctly. Yeah, everything's good in here. So we can see that he has loaded Snow 2, and something here has to tell us that we are the server. Yeah, connecting to region, request, join to lobby, join the room, change. Yeah, creating new room. So yeah, it's written here. So we can create a new room only if we are a server. And of course, if we start a client, we're gonna hit to the menu, and here we're gonna have our feedback, which gonna say if we are connecting or not and everything, and we have connected. And if you hit tab, you can see that you have been connected, add one player to waitlist, local player to remote. So you can see that you have connected to a room, so join the room, and you have the name of the room somewhere here. Some practical things to say about this project. So if before you build your game, you can hit to the player settings, and in the resolution and presentation, you can hit in the drop down full screen mode. You can hit windowed and put the default screen wide 800 and in the height 450, because it's a nice resolution if you have a screen standard screen size, and yeah, otherwise you can just hit resizable window like here, and you will be able to resize your window. So thank you for watching for this tutorial, of course. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and everything. Check our social media, of course. This episode will be some more long than the others, because mainly we have made the main feature, which is connecting to a server and creating a room, creating a server simply. So thank you for watching. Of course, we're gonna view in the next episode how to spawn our player in our scene, Snow 2, and that's it. So see you soon, and don't forget to code every day.